got to celebrate it. You gotta make sure that you treasure it. School and life, forget the nonsense. It's irrelevant. Be what you put your mind to. You could be the president. Greatness you achieve for your people. You gotta represent.
It goes up, up and away, yeah. Today's the best day ever. You're off and on your way. Up, up and away, yeah. We parlay in the morning. We party throughout the day. Up, up and away, yeah. Up, up, underlay, yeah. Up, up and away, yeah. School ain't like the only way.
I'm your host, Casey Williams, and welcome to another episode of Schooling Life. Today we're going to be talking about the quarantine experience. So let's go ahead and introduce our panelists or our guests that we have today.
Malaysia.
Deshaun.
I'm Sydney.
Old-timer Kayode.
Sanaya.
So thank you guys for being here today. It is a pleasure to have you on this episode. So really, how are you doing during the pandemic?
I'm a little stressed out, but I'm managing.
I'm fine. I be in the crib by myself. Hit up the boys to play some 2K or something.
Alright.
I'm okay, but it's boring. You can't do anything like you want to do.
I'm just fine reading my light novels.
Okay.
I mean, I'm alright. It's not the best. That's what it is.
Okay. You know what? I guess I have been adjusting. So this is a new experience for me. One that is allowing for me to be reflective and also focus in new areas that I had not been able to focus before. So initially it was very, very stressful because I am a people person and not getting as much human interaction as I need was an adjustment. However, I'm adjusting. So what has the COVID experience been like for you guys? When we're talking about school, when we're talking about isolation, what has it been like when we just take it all in, like the full scope of everything?
School part, I mean, it's been okay. As long as I'm keeping my grades up, I'm good. But with the isolation part, it's like being by yourself for too long, like you start to dislike yourself. And it's like, it just gets boring and stressful.
The school part, it's okay for me. I kind of like it, but I also like hanging out with other people to a certain extent, though. But it's okay.
The school part for me is okay. The personal part, I love that too. The one thing I don't like about quarantine is that people ruining my Christmas by not letting me get that PS5.
Mine is okay, but you still go to school, but you would like to hang out with other people more than you stay home because you have nothing to do after school.
The school part, it's okay, it's fine. But the personal part is actually okay. I like reading my novels alone without anybody disrupting me.
Okay. Avid reader. So what has been some of the pros and cons that we have been experiencing during this particular time? We'll start with the pros. So what has been some of the pros for the virtual experience or the COVID experience, however we are coining it?
When it comes to my schoolwork, I could turn it in a little bit over the due date and not have to get yelled at in my face about it not being done.
Okay.
And I guess I got to spend more time with my family and got to know them more.
Okay, yeah, those are definitely some perks.
What she said about the not y'all being in my face about not turning in work on time, yeah, that part definitely. And I get to bond more with my family. We compete against each other, be beating them at Just Dance, or on Mario or anything.
All right.
Cons is I be annoyed. Everybody just be all up in my face. I just want to be alone. But with pros, can't even think of none.
Okay.
I don't have to go anywhere to do something, to do school.
Okay, that definitely is a pro.
Some cons, I can't leave the house anymore.
Okay.
I think some pros are same thing about school, in your face about turning in work, but they still get on you about turning in work.
So as an educator, that would definitely be a con for me because it's almost like low participation as a teacher with students, and with us not being face to face, there is no accountability. And so I think when we're able to kind of just set those standards and hold each other accountable within those parameters of school and valuing the virtual experience or the physical experience, that is something that is missing in the virtual experience. So yeah, it's been cool. Are there any adjustments that you guys have made that have been helpful? So what are some adjustments or some tools or tips that you would have for someone during this particular experience?
I mean, as long as you stay on top of your stuff, you know, you don't have to worry about all the other stuff. Because as long as you come home with A's and B's, it really don't be matter.
So one of the tips that you are suggesting is that you do your work on time so that you don't have to worry about it later. Was that what I heard you say?
Something like that.
Okay. We gonna come back to him. Did anybody else have some suggestions or tips? We're gonna coming back.
Like she said. Oh, you can go.
Yeah, like she said, just stay on top of your work and go outside and get some fresh air.
Okay. So making sure that we're active during this particular time is something that is how many of us have been getting activity?
If you call sleeping an activity,
I mean,
Yes, me.
I do walks like with the dogs, so around the block, in the neighborhood.
Okay.
if you count chasing the dog around to get stuff out his mouth, then I guess it's an activity.
So there are a variety of things that we could do during this COVID experience that could enhance our lives. How many of us are journaling or so? Activity, journaling, finding new hobbies and interests, you know, learning, actually spending time with ourselves, whether we're being mindful, whether we are meditating or going for walks in nature, whether we are, you know, exploring our neighborhoods or exploring the community that is around us. I love to explore my neighborhood. I try to eat at new restaurants, then I try to just tear out in that regard. Even exploring the state around us. As I am a Georgia Studies teacher, there are a lot of different spaces that you could go as a citizen in this particular region or as a citizen of the state of Georgia. So those are definitely some tips that I would suggest for students and parents. Get out, get active, go on hikes, go to new places, try new restaurants, eat new foods so that you can kind of have those new experiences. How many of you guys have rearranged your room or cleaned it up?
I've
I
cleaned.
cleaned it.
I have.
So is it staying clean or no?
Mine.
I mean, staying in all day, I be wanting to rip my door out my thing, cause like.
So suggestions. All right, are there any suggestions that you would recommend to your teachers or even to your parents to make this COVID experience more palatable?
For my teachers, please stop giving out work that you didn't go over in class. Like, that is so stressful. They be like, well, I didn't go over this, but it's kind of the same as this. And then I look at it, and it's two completely different things.
Okay.
I'd say giving more instructions for you to turn in your work so they don't count it as missing when you have turned it in already.
Okay.
I would say for like participation, don't like count that against your grade, because sometimes we can't participate because we trying to do something and we still in class.
Okay.
Decreasing I don't really have anything.
Okay.
I could suggest to
So
teachers.
we're going to close with this final statement. Rating your COVID experience on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you rating your experience and why. This is the closing question.
I'm gonna rate mine a 5, and I'm gonna rate it a 5 because I've had some good days and then I had some bad days. So overall, it's just giving me time to self-reflect and advance some things prior to COVID.
Okay.
I'll say a good 3. Cause it's like you're more on social media and stuff, so what people think of you, you like think about it, all the insecurities and all that comes with it. So
I think 6.
Okay.
Because to me, this COVID experience has more pros than cons.
Okay. And what are some of those pros?
I don't have to leave the house anymore. I don't leave. But some cons are that because I stay in the house more, I need to clean the house more because I dirty the place more.
Okay.
Because I stay inside too much. Wow.
That's fair.
I give it a 6 because even though you have to stay in the house, I do sometimes still go places.
Okay.
I give mine an 8 because no one has died in my family. Everybody in my family, we all loving and supporting each other. We all share our wisdom of what we learned from the Bible or from this place or, just all over the world. We like to inform each other, build each other up.
And so I'm rating my COVID experience a 10. And I'm rating it a 10 because it is an opportunity for me to rediscover myself and connect with myself in a way that I had not previously. And so with more time, I definitely have been more reflective. I've started to engage more in active planning, just focusing on areas that I could grow in a little bit more. And also, just planning out the next year, 3 years, 5 years. And I've been able to just spend time with myself in a way that I had not. So being intentional about where I am moving with the next phase of my life has been one of the best things that the COVID experience has yielded me. And so I'm very, very grateful. I'm grateful for, life, health, and strength, as well as, just growing and glowing. So thank you all for an opportunity today to share with you as you are sharing with me. And as we know, in creating a more equitable, mindful, and sustainable world, you are in control of your life. So remember to always school your life.
Up and away, yeah. We parlay in the morning, we party throughout the day. Up and away, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Up underlay, yeah. Up and away, yeah.
Yes, sir.
School is like the only way.
School is important in life, you gotta be educated. Go through life with no regrets, cause you regret if you hesitate. And strive to be the best, the obstacles gon' leave you aggravated. But once you succeed, you gon' figure it, you have to celebrate it. You gotta make sure that you treasure it. School and life, forget the nonsense, it's irrelevant. Be what you put your mind to, you could be the president. Greatness you achieve for your people, you gotta
It
represent.
goes up and away, yeah. Today's the best day ever, you're off and on your way. Up and away, yeah. We parlay in the morning, we party throughout the day. Up and away, yeah. Up underlay, yeah. Up and away, yeah. Schooling like the only way.
Each day when you wake up, either you're taking intentional steps to being your best self, or you're moving further away from your truth and your goals. There is a difference between being self-focused and self-centered. Value yourself. Love yourself. Hype yourself up because you're dope. It is perfectly okay to be your biggest fan with purpose. Yo, you got this.